Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with another interesting data analytics interview problem which had been asked in Facebook. So please make sure you watch the video till end to learn something important and interesting facts about this particular problem. And please subscribe to my channel if not already done yet, as I will be coming up with a lot more useful content. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So over here, let me just quickly explain you the problem statement which we have, and then probably we will deep dive into the solution of this particular problem. So as we can see, we are having two tables available. The very first table contains like the information of user ID and the friend ID. So this particular table contains the connection between user and its friend, right? Similarly, in the second table, we have information of pages which each and every user follows, right? Now, as part of this particular problem, we have to create a new recommendation system, right? Which will basically tells us the more number of pages which each and every user should follow based on the friend ID available, right? Let me just quickly give you an example. Probably we will be able to understand with that. So as we can see, with user ID 1, right, we are having 2, 4, and 5, which are basically friends of user ID 1, right? Now, can I say this thing? The content which user ID 2, 4, and 5 follows, that may probably be liked by user ID 1 as well, right? So, somewhat similar kind of recommendation system we have to create over here, right? But we have to basically keep one thing in our mind, that the original pages which each and every user follows, right? We should not display that as part of the recommendation system, because that particular information is already there, right? That particular information we are not recommending actually, right? So this is something which we have to basically take care as part of this particular problem, and that is the only thing which makes this particular problem as interesting, right? So let's get started with the solution of this particular problem, right? So over here, let me just quickly. So likewise over here, basically the information of page ID or the page which a particular user follows, it is available in the second table, right? The information which at a friend ID level is available in the first table, right? So for sure, what we have to do, we have to basically join these two tables, right? So in order to perform join, let me just quickly take select. What we will use, basically we will get user ID from the very first table. So I'm using select user ID, right? And apart from that, we will basically need page ID from the second table, right? So I'm taking page ID, right? From user friends, right? So basically I'm taking user friends over here, right? And we have to join this. So join, and since basically we need like to like comparison over here, so for that I will use self join, inner join basically, right? So I'm using inner join, and for that we will basically take user pages, right? So inner join user pages. Let me just quickly give this as alias as UF, right? And we can give this as UP, right? On UF dot friend ID. So basically, we are having over here in users friend, we are having friend ID, right? On the basis of friend ID, we have to basically map this table, right? So on UF dot friend ID is equal to UP dot user ID, right? Because we have to know or we should know basically what is the information or what are the pages which each user's friends follow, right? So, and for this user ID, we need to take this from first table, which is like UF, right? Similarly, page ID we need from UP, right? Now let me just run this. Let me just run all of these three, and we can see like what will be the output we will be getting, right? So let's run everything. Yeah. So over here, as we can see, these are the original two tables, and we are having the third table as well over here, right? Which basically tells us like which user ID, which page ID is followed by which user, right? Let me just order this up as well, so that like we will be able, or like it will be easier for us to compare, right? So I am ordering it up on the basis of user ID and page ID level, right? Now let's run this once again. Yeah. So over here, yeah. So over here now, what we can see, basically user ID one, like contains or like follows page ID 20, 21, 23. I mean, like we are having like duplicate record as well over here, right? Uh, the reason why basically over here we are having multiple users or like multiple instances of a like a single user, right? So basically multiple pages followed by a single user. So when we are basically performing a join on this table, it is basically creating a duplicate records, right? So for that, what we will use, I will use distinct of user ID and page ID, right? So that like we will get rid of these kind of issues where like user ID and page ID is equal. We like these are not relevant records for us, right? Let me just run this once again. Yeah. So now, as you can see, we are having like for user ID one, basically we are having 5 pages, right? So 2 pages were like originally available in the second table, right? Which user ID one follows, right? And as part of this particular problem, these 2 records will not be should not come as part of the recommendation system, right? Now, as I described you, we are having 3 friends of user ID one, right? So basically, the pages which like all those 3 friend follows, that should be the that should come under the recommendation system, right? So over there, what we have to do basically as part of the output, we have to basically showcase all these 3 pages, right? And we should not showcase these 2 pages over here, right? So for that, what I will basically do, I will check I will perform a check over here, which basically tells like if user ID one or like if user ID and page ID is available in this second table, right? So basically we should exclude all those records, right? So in the final output, if that particular final output, if any of the record is available in the second table, which is like users pages table, we should basically exclude that, right? So for that, what I will do over here, I will use where clause, right? And I will basically perform a filter condition over here, right? So for that, what I will do where, and I will use not exist operator, right? So I will use not exists, right? Let me just quickly explain you like what I will be going to do over here and what is the power of this particular operator, right? So for that, I will use not exist, and what we have to do basically, we have to join these 2 tables, right? So once we perform join, and wherever we are having like these kind of records available in the like second table, we will basically exclude them, right? So for that, what I will do, select one from, I will use users page, right? Uh, then probably we can give or we can perform join, right? So like instead of join, we can use where as well. So where user ID is equal to, or let me just give this as alias over here, right? So let's give this as up2, right? Because over here we had given up, so we can give it as up2. So up2 dot user ID, right, is equal to uf dot user ID, right? So over here, what we are doing is we are basically comparing wherever the user ID is getting matched with second table's user ID, we have to basically exclude them or we have to fetch those records, right? And apart from that, we have to basically perform one more check. So page ID should also be equal, right? So where up2 dot page ID is equal to up dot page ID, right? So what we are doing over here basically, we are basically excluding or we are extracting all those records where user ID from the final table is equal to user ID in the like second table, which is like users friend table, right? And then in that particular case, we have to check the page ID as well. So both user ID and page ID, if both of them are equal, this particular inner query, which is a subquery, that will return one in that particular case, right? Otherwise, it won't return anything, right? So wherever we are getting this particular condition fulfilled, right, this particular query will return one, right? So as soon as it will return one, those records will not come as part of the output, because we are using not exist operator over here, right? So we will basically filter all those records, right? Now let me just run this again. I'm running all the queries once again, and we will be able to compare. So over here, as you can see, we are basically having all the three records, right? And those two records which were available or like already in the second table, those are not available in the output, right? And this was the output, or like the recommendation system, which we have to provide as part of the output of this particular problem, right? So yeah, I hope you got to learn something new from this. Let me know in the comment section if you know any other possible solution for this particular problem. Thank you, one and all. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.